Today I'm sitting down with 19-year-old platinum producer, Young Cutta. I'm going to be speaking with him on how he first got started in the industry, signed with Murda Beatz, and got himself a bunch of big placements with the likes of Trippie Redd, Polo G, Lil Durk, and more. I'm also going to be cooking up a few loops of my own for him to use and make a beat with, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see that happen. Let's get it. All right, guys, so I'm here with...
I'm Young Cutta, young hitmaker from North Carolina.
How old are you again?
I just turned 19 like 2 days ago.
Oh shit, happy birthday, bro.
Thank you so much.
One thing I wanted to ask you real quick before we get started is, so you actually reached out to me. I'm super curious. How did you find out about me?
It's crazy because I've been watching your videos for a long time.
Wow.
Like probably around when I first started. I was like 14.
I was watching one of your older interviews from like a year ago, and you said that the way you kind of learned to make beats was from watching YouTube producers, as well as myself. Who else kind of gave you some gems in the early days?
Busy Works Beats back in the day. Holy. I was watching a lot more of like type beats, so I'd listen to type beats and kind of learn from that. But I also watched like the Genius Deconstructed videos. Those are fire.
I don't think that needs anything else. You've cemented yourself into the music industry and you ended up signing to Murda Beatz. So when did you make that happen?
So I used to make type beats like back in the day, and then I learned out about getting placements and working with like artists. So I would just use Instagram to network, build my name and my brand through that. And then I reached out to Murda when I was like, I think like 16. I just asked him if he was signing producers, and he liked my stuff because I was working with like Lil Durk at the time and like a bunch of other people. He wanted to sign me off of that. Yeah, but we clicked, honestly. I linked with him in LA and we just like hit it off, you know? You gotta have a good vibe together or else it won't work.
What's your kind of like, you know, situation like with Murda Beatz? Like how do you two kind of work together to get these placements and stuff?
So I signed a publishing deal with him and Warner Chappell. I kind of do most of the work, you know, I get placements and everything, but they do help me, you know, get in rooms or if I need questions or anything. But yeah, they'll set up like sessions and get me stuff that I, you know, couldn't get on my own.
What's the average kind of like session, let's say, with Murda? How does that kind of work?
I'll be like out in LA. He'll tell me like either pull up, we'll go to like these sessions with like, these big artists and go work with them, make beats for them on the spot, and then they go and record.
Catchy. Oof. I can obviously assume that Murda's a big like kind of mentor for you. So what's like some of the best advice he's kind of given you?
You got to stay focused. You got to stay grinding. You got to, he always tells me, he's like, work with up and coming people. That's like a fact. You got to work with up and coming people.
It's much easier to build something with someone who's on the come up rather than kind of going straight for the big guys, you know, like the Drakes.
Exactly,
because then that way you're going to get your foot in the door, like, because then that could then lead to working with the big artists, you know.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so if they hear your tag on those songs, then yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So what is like your average kind of like beat making workflow?
It depends. Usually I'm a drum guy, so I'll go through like 1,000 loops and like pick my favorite ones and then go crazy on them. But honestly, I prioritize networking and sending my beats out more than making them. But like, I love making beats, but I feel like if you want to be in this industry, you gotta really focus on the networking part.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've seen a tweet a while ago where someone said it's like 80% networking, 20% like beat making.
Definitely, it's like 90%, honestly.
In the early days, you need to perfect your craft, right?
No, in the early days, I was on here 24/7 making beats, learning this program inside and out, and now it's like to the point where I'm like, I don't know, I can make a beat in like 3 minutes.
You've obviously sent a lot of beats around, and that's kind of been the way you've gotten your, you know, some of your placements. So how like would you kind of advise producers to kind of move in the DMs and stuff in order to like get a more success rate when it comes to getting placements?
It's more about your page. It's not about what you say. I mean, you don't want to say some weird shit. The artist is always going to go to your page first when you DM them, you know? You know, if you got pictures up with like your cat or something, or like some weird shit, like they're not going to, you know what I mean? They're not going to fuck with you. You got to have like, you know, some hard takes in the studio or like, and then also your bio's got to be fire too. It's got to be like, I mean, you could cap too. Like you could be like, produce for Lil Got It or whatever. You could totally cap. I used to do that.
Oh, for real?
It's honestly like manifesting. Like I manifested the Trippie Redd placement through that.
No way.
I had in my bio like 2 years ago. I was like produced for Trippie Redd. Like, you know, I got 2 songs on his album.
Well, so you fully put that in your bio before it happened?
Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Do what you can make it.
So how do you actually physically get a beat to an artist? Like in terms of, do you kind of go in straight away asking for an email, or do you want to kind of like send them a Dropbox link, or what would you kind of recommend?
I always ask for their number because that's like the most personal way. DM them, I'll be like, yo, let's work. You could say like, I produce for so-and-so, and then they'll respond back. They'll be like, yeah, let's do it. All right, bet, what's your number? I'm gonna lock you in. Like just like some simple shit like that, you know. Then they text you and you just start sending them beats, texting them beats.
What's like your number one like studio etiquette like tip, like the do's and don'ts of being in a session with an artist?
Don't ask weird questions at first. Don't ask weird questions at first. Like they gotta know you're cool, because like rappers sometimes, you know, they'd be like very cautious of who they're around. I went to the studio, I'm like the only young white kid. They're all looking at me like, what the hell, who's this kid? But then you like stay there for a while and talk to them like normally, and like they're like, oh shit, he's cool, you know. So it's just about like your vibe and your presence and what you bring to the session, honestly.
So when it comes to making beats, what are your kind of like favorite kind of go-to plugins?
I like Analog Lab. I love Portal, the effect plugin.
If you guys like Portal as well, make sure to check out our Portal preset bank called Pulse, 40 presets. Check it out right now, link below. Overall, like, what's your kind of like your number one tip for an up and coming producer like who's just started making beats and they want to like get into the placement game and everything?
Perfect your craft. Once you've done that, go to Instagram, go to social media, build your page, build your brand, build your name, and then straight up just DM a ton of people, like artists, managers, friends of artists. That's a key secret too. Friends of artists
Yeah.
is like that's a really good gem.
That's how Murda got in.
Yeah.
He was DMing
Yeah.
the Migos friends, right?
It's all about networking.
So I take it the Trippie Redd Rich Motherfucker is your biggest placement to date.
Yeah, streaming wise, yeah.
Tell me the story behind that song.
I made the beat here, right here actually, like right here in North Carolina, my hometown. I sent the beat to my former manager, Turn Me Up Josh, rest in peace. He gave the beat to Hitmaker, who was like a big writer. Hitmaker wrote the hook on it, and then Trippie re-recorded it, and then got Polo and Dirk on it.
What was your kind of like direct involvement in terms of like the beat? Like what kind of elements were down to you?
So I got the loop from my boy JT, went crazy on the drums, and then sent it out to Josh. It was a simple beat too. It was so simple. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but it took me like 5 minutes to make. Like,
Yeah.
It's just a hi-hat, a bass, and a clap.
But yeah, that's basically all the stuff I've got for you in terms of my questions. So now it's about time we get into some beat making. So let me send you these loops over real quick. I made these today, so I'm hoping you fuck with them. I'm super like interested to see which one you're gonna pick. I can't lie. I honestly couldn't. I couldn't choose. Whereabouts are you in the beat now?
Send my tag.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah, bro.
That was quick. Oh yeah, I never asked you. How did you get the name Cutta? How did you kind of come up with that?
I'm young, and I'm always in the cut.
Yes, let's go. Oh. Let's got that bounce. Oh. Fire, you killed it. Thanks so much for hopping on the channel, bro. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, of course, bro. Y'all can find me on Instagram at Young Cutta, Twitter at Young Cutta with 2 A's. And yeah.